Did men ever approach you and say, hey, how's it going?
I actually went on a date with someone who approached me one time. He was just riding on a bike, actually, like up here, and I was just walking. And then he was like looking back, and I was like, oh my God, he's gonna come up to me. I was like, he's kind of cute. He's gonna go up to me. And then he came up to me. If you approach someone in the right way, it can be quite charming.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. Sometimes I'm like in the mood for just like a 2-minute chat or like even a 1-minute chat.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll just straight up say, like, I'm not in the mental state to be having this conversation right now, and I'm gonna go that way.
Yo, what is going on, guys? Got a video for you here today from Manhood about women who can't stand the fact that men are going their own way and leaving them behind. Now, today's video was suggested to me by Locke the Bounty Hunter. I'm going to leave both of their channels linked in the pinned comment, so make sure you go and subscribe to these guys. Don't forget to leave your own comments, and let's jump right into the video.
Here's some crazy research for you. So a third of men, 33%, a little over a third, of men between the ages of 18 and 29 are not only single, but they're not actively looking for a partner. The same study said that by the year 2030, that 45% of women between the ages of 20 and 45 will be single. So I've got a question for the men, because I see it all the time in my comments. Most of my comments are filled with guys saying we're done. We're not looking. We like our peace. I need some more talk from you guys. Tell me why you're done.
Men are done because modern women have spent the better part of the last decade, maybe even beyond that, endlessly mocking and insulting men for the crime of being born. I mean, after a while, men just had enough and walked away to find their own peace.
Tell him what you want him to do. No. Just telling him no doesn't give him enough information. Instead, be very specific about what you want him to do, and you'll avoid any confusion. Down, boy.
Do you reckon this woman is single or in a relationship? Place your bets. 20-1 says she's single.
These women treat men as if they're children, or in this woman's case, a dog. They hate communicating so much that they need to disrespect their men just to make a point as passively aggressive as possible.
For over 40 years, women have told men to leave them alone. Don't approach me, you creep, they would all say. And it turns out if you keep telling men to stay away from you, they will. Modern women are going on TikTok to whine about men not approaching them. Back in the day, it was simple. A guy saw a pretty woman, walked up to her and said hi. Of course, women called that predatory and patriarchy, and now everything's messed up.
It's more than just that. Women back in the day actually had more to offer a man. Now they do even less and still expect the man to do all of the work. It's a rotten bill of goods, and these women are furious when men don't blindly accept it.
When I decided that I was going to tell him that I wanted a divorce, we sit down in our session. It's like really tense, really awkward. My ex was sitting there like, so why do we have an emergency session? The therapist was like, Jamie, do you want to start? And I just started crying, and I was like, I want a divorce. He sat there quiet. I'm sitting next to him crying. He didn't move. He didn't look at me. He didn't react at all. He just was stone cold. And eventually our therapist was like, would you like to respond?
If a husband is numb to this kind of news, then it's because his wife broke him. He couldn't even break this news to him in private. She had to make sure that there was an audience for maximum attention. He knew this and refused to buy into it.
So he responded right away, and he's like, fine, let's just go ahead and finalize the details.
Got him!
Like, I knew that I was ready to leave that day, but I couldn't believe that that was his reaction. There was no empathy, there was no compassion, there was no, like, wanting to fight for us, and I was like, so what are we gonna do? And he just kept playing, and he was like, I already got an apartment, I already took my name off of the lease. So it was like within a couple days he moved out.
It wasn't enough for her to get her divorce. She wanted to hurt this man. She wanted him to grovel and cry and beg to give him another chance, but he was clearly done. He was planning on giving her everything she wanted, except the satisfaction of seeing him debase himself for her.
Y'all wonder why men get depressed in relationships. Y'all wonder why men don't even want to be in a relationship. It's because like this.
Anything a man does for himself seems to be met with scorn. He can't play video games, he can't go golfing, he can't even sit and watch a movie without his woman calling him lazy or selfish. He's expected to endlessly work, and even then, he's still going to get chewed out for not doing the work the right way.
Anytime he does something for himself, he goes out and does an activity he enjoys without his girl, met with attitude. You're supposed to be his peace, not his headache. This is a fucking temper tantrum. You're about 30 years past the point of throwing temper tantrums. If your man's doing everything he needs to provide, if he is upkeeping every end of his bargain for this relationship, let him have a day. He is more than your boyfriend. He is more than your husband. He is a grown adult who has his own interests. And if you want to ruin his good day, shit like this, you don't care about him.
Any wife that shames her husband for wanting some time to do the things that he enjoys or cares about is honestly just incredibly controlling, and he should just leave her, in my opinion.
Because men have to create their value, where women are born with value.
Big facts.
So yeah, so you're born, you're given the golden ticket at 18. Even now, you guys are early 30s, mid 20s. Like, life is hard for men. They grow up being ignored most of their life. And so, whereas women, we're given attention, like what? When's the first time? Yeah, when's the first time you had a guy hit on you? 13, 14, 15?
Something.
Yeah. And so we don't even realize how hard the world is for men and how easy it is for us, where we can like spout nonsense and nobody says anything.
Even if modern women are told that men have it way harder in life, they'll just turn around and make the subject about them, because in the eyes of a lot of these individuals, men have to do everything, get nothing, and be happy about it.
Does your dad know? And
He does. He honestly completely disowned me when I did it.
Good,
I
as
haven't
he
seen
should.
him in about 4 years.
Good.
He's not very supportive of
you
it.
guys
you
doing OnlyFans
should.
for 4 years.
Kind
So
of the peak.
your father disowned you because
Oh
of,
yeah, his whole side of
is
the
he
family.
is he pretty
Good.
traditional?
If a woman is going to make spicy content, then she gives up her right to privacy and support from her family. At that point, the family needs to protect themselves from the damage their daughter has brought down on them.
And a bunch of these girls are attention seekers. They just want to feed their ego, feed their, they crave attention. They have all these orbiters around them that give them that attention. But then she goes for that alpha. She goes for that guy that's not feeding her that attention. Because he stands out. He's different.
I had a friend who was on a dating site, and guy after guy would send her long messages and, essays, and one guy said, hey, and now they're married.
Modern women want what they can't have, and they know they can't lock down the bad boys, the chads, and the men that they are actually attracted to, but that won't stop them from chasing after them with the delusion that they'll be the one to do the impossible.
Yeah, so the problem is that there's zero advantage to marriage in the Western world for a man. There is zero statistical advantage. If you use your mind, if you use your head instead of your heart, and you look at the advantages to getting married, there are absolutely and utterly none. Because this new idea of new age feminism just basically destroys all men in the idea, or in the event of her leaving. And it's very common that women leave, right?
Getting married nowadays forces a man to risk everything he has built, not just his money, by the way, but also his dignity and his trust in other people. And if his wife leaves him, which, by the way, she's encouraged to do, then he's bound to lose all of it while she walks away virtually unscathed.
Let's stop the man versus woman attack, etc., etc. Life's difficult for everybody. We all have different challenges, different things to go through. But if a woman marries a man and it goes wrong, she has emotional heartbreak, fine. But if a man marries a woman and it goes wrong, he has emotional heartbreak. Plus, everything he has ever worked for is ripped out from underneath him, and he has to give that chick money forever.
The emotional heartbreak a man goes through when the woman he loves destroys him changes him forever. He will never be the same again. And these women wonder why men aren't willing to dive into another relationship after getting destroyed.
He actually went into the reasoning behind these men not going and speaking to women. And I believe the list was scared of rejection, scared of like an HR response or being reported or Me Too'd in some way, shape, or form, not being successful, and just not feeling the need to walk up to women anymore was also one of the many answers that men gave on the list of reasons why they no longer approach women. So it's interesting out there.
Every single one of the legitimate reasons that men don't want to bother anymore is completely disregarded because modern women don't care about the men or what they have to lose, right? They just accuse men of being cowards and mock them for protecting themselves.
Men aren't approaching women anymore. Not because they're mama's boys, not because they're man-child or scared or whatever it is you call them these days. You know why? Because one wrong word and they're labeled creeps. One compliment and it's harassment. One traditional gestures and they're called sexists. So they've learned to leave you alone. Then you wonder why chivalry is dead, why dating apps are the only option. Congratulations, women. We've played ourselves.
It's not too much for a man to want to be treated with a little bit of kindness and dignity, but modern women said that men need to earn that by doing the tasks that are almost impossible. So what happened? The only logical thing they could do was just walk away and find peace elsewhere. But anyway, guys, we are going to be leaving today's episode there. As always, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you are new here. Drop a comment and I will see you all in the next one. Make sure you take care of yourselves. Peace.